สักครู่
In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. Your digital self in control, privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. It's your soul ID, your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID, in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, if your reputation grow. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. Your digital self in control, privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, if your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. Your digital self in control, privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, if your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. Your digital self in control, privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, if your reputation grow.
Hello, welcome to Solid Talk number 90 weeks of solid yapping. We did it. We're almost at the 100, ladies and gents. Let's see if we can get the 100 full. I am happy to be back at Solid Talk. It is another Saturday, wherever you are. Welcome into the Hall of the Solidians. Welcome to the stream, Pierre. How are you doing over there in Manila, Philippines? How are you, man? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, awesome, perfect. Where's my mic, by the way? Why do I hold this shit like this silly little? Let me do this properly, my friend. I got this beautiful microphone for a reason, don't I? Might as well put it on here. So we begin momentarily. Much better. Now, GM, everyone, if you're with us, then drop a GM in the comment section. Let us know that you are here and say hello to myself and Pierre and be with us here and be active in the comments as always. Because Alden is here already. I can see that because you dropped the GM at the very top of my comment box here. Alden and GM, my friend, I hope you're doing very well over there, wherever you are. Where are you, by the way, Alden? Are you in Nigeria? Are you one of our Nigerian friends? Les Salion, I'm pretty sure you're in France. Welcome to the Solid Talk number 90, my friend. GM, Chillers is with us. Poodle is with us. GM as well. Sunny, hot, 29 degrees. GM, heat is up. Markets are down. True. Hello, Solidians from Pierre964. Welcome to the party, my friend. Please stop winning. I can't handle that much winning, but Solid, please, sirs. It's too much winning. Yeah. Right. I get it. I get it, Steve. Very funny. GM, my friend. Thanks for being here. Jacqueline Ann as well. GM, and thanks for joining the party. Is JD Sol here? That is the question. That is the big question. I don't see him in the comments, but he's probably here. So if you are here, JD, GM, and welcome to the show. Alden is from Jamaica? Really? You're from Jamaica? I didn't know that. That is so cool. I didn't know we have a Jamaican community as well. How's life over there, brother? You doing all right? Jamaica's okay? How are you holding up? I mean, there's a lot of bullshit happening in the world. I feel Jamaica seems to be outside of the bullshit. I hope you guys are chilling. You're fine. You know, you're living your life. Wherever you are in the world anyways. Also for everyone else here, I hope you're okay. Som is also here. GM Solidians and Cyber, of course. Welcome to the party as well. Yeah, if you want to let us know where you are in the world, by the way, you can drop it in the comments and I'm gonna make fun of your country wherever you are. So please drop your country if you want. I am tuning in live from Singapore, the country of the durian. There was actually a funny comment, Pierre, I saw that. I was thinking about a joke when I was writing the tweet. I was like, it smells like opportunity and like XYZ, but I couldn't find anything funny. And then you posted and like durian. I was like, right, that's silly food. That stinks.
I mean, it's also because it is actually prohibited to eat durian in public transport.
It's a weapon. It's a weapon, bro. This shit is. If you put that in your fridge and you open the fridge, it's like a bomb. It just exploded in the kitchen. Yeah, if there's anyone from Asia tuning in here right now, you guys know what we're talking about. If you're not from Asia, you probably don't know what we're talking about. But durian is the stink fruit. I don't know what it is, but people like it. I don't really love the thing. The smell is just so bad. I can't bear it. And then it doesn't, there's nothing that justifies the smell. It's not like, oh, it's so delicious, I'm just going to go through it. It's really not worth it. So, yep, it is what it is. Yeah, Cyber, Nigeria, swinging the flag of the country. Crypto's insane in Nigeria. I still can't believe it. Like there's so much adoption happening down there when it comes to crypto, out of necessity, I think, just because people don't really have great banking rails, I suppose. But I always hear stories from people using crypto on a daily basis in Nigeria, and we don't really have this in other countries yet. A lot in the emerging countries, but not anywhere else. Anyway, we are going to talk about stuff today, as we always do at Solid Talk. We're going to give you a quick rundown on what happened in the world. I have a few news that I brought with myself that I want to talk about when it comes to, global markets, economy, and all that fun stuff. There's always something we can pick on we can pick on. And there's like some interesting news items that I wasn't even aware of before I did my research for the Solid Talk. So really looking forward to talk about these things. We're also obviously going to do Solana news. So the latest and greatest on Solana, what happened in the last week, anything that shall be mentioned on this call will be mentioned so that you guys never run out of fun things to talk about with your family. That was the original Soul Brothers intro. And we also have some updates on campaigns that we're tinkering inside of Solana ID, some campaign updates, basically just like showing you guys work that we are doing behind the scenes that you are not aware of yet, but in the Hall of the Solidians, you get to know about that first. But I also saw Pierre wants to know, what can we expect from the next ecosystem call? What alpha can Simon drop inside of the Solid Talk for the people that might be curious, that want to, you know, I don't know if you guys saw the teaser that went out, and it's supposed to be a teaser, which means, you know, we're consciously not telling you the full story, because how the ecosystem calls work, they always come packaged with a story. There's always a little story around each ecosystem call. And let me just share my screen here for people who haven't seen it. GMBM, by the way, I see you, brother. I see you in the comments. We posted the teaser. Next week, all will be revealed. And then the suspicious looking picture of an ongoing investigation. And nobody knows what's going to happen on May 28th. And nobody knows what crime wave hits the Solana ecosystem. We always had something to talk about. In March, we talked about it's back, because it was the first month when we brought back the ecosystem call. In April, we had Fashion Week. Solana wears it best. You remember all the beautiful models modeling and the nice artworks on the timeline. And this month, we're going to bring the puppeteer to the party. What should I talk about, Pierre? I don't want to teaser too much. I don't want to reveal too much, you know, so people can still anticipate. But what am I allowed to say here in this Hall of the Solidians without giving away the surprise, you know? Is there anything I can say?
I mean, I think you're the only one who can answer the question. Like, what are you allowed to say here that is not giving away too much?
I mean, it's for you guys, right? I want you to anticipate a little bit more. So just wait for Monday. Just wait for the official announcement, and you're going to see the next teaser, the next hint. Next week is going to be filled with items on the timeline that will teaser more what this ecosystem call is about. But obviously, at the core of each ecosystem call, we're going to talk about Solana news and what happened in the month. So it's basically a Solid Talk on steroids, a Solid Talk show, right? While this is laid back, chill, just live stream, on the ecosystem call, we're just stepping it up again. And we can talk about it when we talk about company updates later. We can also talk about how does the ecosystem call actually combine Solana ID, and where does Solana ID start, and where does the ecosystem call start, and where does each of them stop. So we can talk about this a little bit as well. In the company updates, for you guys, if you're wondering, you know, like Simon is doing all these things, what does it even mean? How does it even work? Who owns what? And what I can say though is, why was I here? Why was I in Singapore? Maybe that's what I can teaser.
Or are you still there?
Why am I in Singapore? Whatever. Are you aware which companies are based in Singapore that are in crypto, Pierre? Guys, you can post it in the comments as well if you have ideas. Jupiter is a big one. So we got Jupiter is based out of Singapore. Meteora is based out of Singapore. Big office down here. Who else is in Singapore? From the big ones. Actually, I don't know if we have more big ones that are based. Who else is based in Singapore when it comes to crypto companies? If you guys know, let us know. Obviously, we have Super Team Singapore, which is awesome. Shout out to Kimmy for leading the charge down here. But when it comes to like big offices, I think Jupiter is just like dominating it. Jupiter was created out of Mercurial. Mercurial was a stablecoin project on Solana long time ago, way before all our time probably on Solana. Mercurial was a stablecoin project, and it was essentially just like, it was Meow, it was Xiong, it was Ben Chao, it was who else was it? It was a few people just sitting in a noodle shop talking stablecoins in a ramen shop, and that's where Mercurial was born. And then
Are you
what happened
sure
is,
that it
yeah,
was Jupiter that came out of it, not Meteora?
Yep. Yep. So Mercurial was the first, the baby that was born. But then they spun out two different things. They spun out Jupiter, and it became its own thing, Jupiter, and Meteora became its own thing, Meteora. And they focused on two different things. One was the trading stack and the exchange, and the other one was liquidity pools and AMMs. Oh, actually, liquidity pools. Yeah, AMMs is Jupiter, and then they coexisted. And until today, the offices in Singapore are shared between Jupiter and Meteora. So it's basically the same office. And on some days in the week, you have Jupiter in there, and other days you have Meteora in there. So it's a very closely knit team. And obviously, I was here on a mission. I flew down here to interview someone at the forefront of one of these companies. I leave it there. I don't know if I'm gonna. Maybe I tweet about it anyway. But you'll see what we're producing here next week. And it was a very interesting interview with a lot of funny moments and a lot of revealing moments and a lot of insider details. Because obviously, as you guys may know, there's a lot of lore and a lot of mystery and a lot of conspiracy as well around Jupiter and Meteora. Because where big money is, there's also big surface for crime. But I can say that I am very confident with the people who are leading these companies. They're actually good people. So I think it's just very difficult in such a powerful position to always do the right things, right? So I forgive them any mistakes they made in the past because I know that they actually have good intentions, especially the team that I interviewed. Which you will hear about next week as well. But back to topic, let's talk about Solana. Let's talk about some news. Before we pull up the Solana news, as we do every single week, I have a few macro items zoomed out. If you guys missed it in the week, if you didn't know what's happening, some of these news might also explain what happens on the charts. So before we look at the charts, let's talk about fundamentals. Kevin Warsh comes into the Fed facing a big family fight over cutting interest rates. Obviously, no one wants to cut interest rates right now in the government of the United States because inflation is pretty high. Kevin Warsh is still itching for a good family fight over monetary policy. He's likely to get one if he sticks to his guns on interest rate cuts, because I think he tends to want to cut rates. Those who have watched Warsh over the years, from his prior stint as a Fed governor through his high-profile public disagreements with Fed policy since, expect him to put up strong arguments. However, those arguments have a tougher audience now. I agree. I think it's going to be difficult with him, with inflation spiking and treasury yields surging. Warsh is likely to confront a Federal Open Market Committee in no mood to ease. That means everyone around Warsh probably doesn't want any rate cuts in this year. In fact, several officials of late have stressed the need for the Fed to keep its options open for rate hikes instead. And if I am not mistaken, do they have the rates here? But I think last time I checked, on Polymarket as well, the rates actually were higher for rate hikes than for rate cuts. So we got 19 or almost 15% probability that we will have a rate hike, so increase of the rates, versus 10.6% cut probability. So yeah, that is definitely kind of a little bit of change of direction, I would say, because beginning of the year and end of last year, we were quite certain that we'll see several rate cuts going forward into 2026 as well. But now futures are pricing in as well 15% chance of rate hikes. But with all that being said, 75% are still left, right? And they are no change for the rest of the year, which is currently definitely the majority of probabilities for rate cuts. Why is this interesting at all? I mean, obviously, if interest rates are being cut, liquidity becomes cheaper, money becomes cheaper, more money in the ecosystem or in the system increases usually risk assets as well, and lower interest rates also lead to lower yield for risk off or no risk yields. And if we have less yield there, then money will seek yield somewhere else. Right now, you get almost 4 to 5% yield on your treasuries, I think. So that's kind of, very low risk yield, 4 to 5%. And then if you have DeFi yields on stablecoins or on Camino, on lending and borrowing, that is, let's say 7, 8, 9%, then big money is like, should we take on the risk of DeFi protocol risk and all the related risk around that? Should we take on that risk for an extra 5, or not even, for an extra 2%, for an extra 3%? Or should we just keep the money in almost no risk assets like treasury bills, where we get like a stable 4 to 5%? Right? And that's why crypto is in the bear market. That's one of the reasons, by the way. And Commerce Department to spend $2 billion on quantum infrastructure. So people are getting more and more scared about quantum computing. The US Department of Commerce is funneling over $2 billion into the quantum technology sector through the CHIPS and Science Act. A significant portion of these funds targets foundational hardware manufacturing capacity. So yeah, I guess we had a conversation about that. We had a conversation about quantum computing also from Solana Floor last ecosystem call. Solana seems to be kind of prepared. I think there's always a chance, that this becomes a problem at some point for crypto, but it is still in the future. But I think with these heavy investments into quantum computing, I think it's going to be sooner than later, actually. Also, Trump media prepares to liquidate Bitcoin stash amid steep losses. Yeah, well. They appear ready to offload a massive chunk of its cryptocurrency treasury after transferring 2,650 BTC to the Crypto.com exchange. That is $205 million. And yeah, they have currently a 455 million unrealized loss on its digital asset portfolio. Yeah. Yep. That is really, they really screwed up, didn't they? I think, yeah. Trump is really, I don't want to talk about it. He's just like, he's squeezing out money on every corner, but then he's also losing money in such stupid moments. I think he just has a silly team. Sorry, no offense, Trump and team. But here is another thing that I thought was really interesting. Actually, there's a Messari report that dives deeper into this whole topic. But the current, what the Messari report also kind of talks about a lot, what's kind of the core story, is that Solana is shedding its skin. Solana is growing up. It's coming out of its cocoon. We're becoming what we were meant to become, which is not a meme coin chain, I think. It is what's happening right now. Billions of dollars flowing into the ecosystem from, Wall Street and payment giants that are now quietly taking over Solana, moving billions onto the network for tokenized funds and global payments, even as broader crypto market cools down. So that is the quiet bull story in the background. Solana is definitely taking on more and more institutional funds. That is the big story of the year, really. What kind of numbers do we have here? We have BlackRock's tokenized money market fund, BUIDL, who leads in growth. New integrations tied to payments and tokenized finance. BUIDL grew over 525.4 million on Solana after Anchorage Digital added custody support for the fund. So that's pretty good. BUIDL on Solana is growing. There's also BUIDL on Ethereum. Don't know about the numbers right now. The report framed Solana is as increasingly becoming infrastructure for tokenized finance rather than only a hub for speculative crypto trading. I think that is very true. We talked about this as well after Miami happened, and I heard from people that Miami was very institutional, very institutional. We got Ondo Finance, who launched more than 200 tokenized stocks and ETFs on the network with Ondo Global Markets. Franklin Templeton partnered with Ondo to bring tokenized ETF products on chain. Citigroup also completed a proof of concept for tokenized trade finance on Solana with PwC. So, the corporates are scared to miss the train. So they all are jumping on it. Visa, Stripe, WorldPay, Western Union, and PayPal are either integrated into Solana for stablecoin settlement or launched Solana native payment products over the past year. With Western Union being the latest one, the latest addition to the party, as they now have a stablecoin on Solana. Stablecoin market cap on Solana ended the quarter at 0.85 billion, ranking network third among blockchains. That's actually pretty good. Adjusted stablecoin transfer volume rose 13% quarter over quarter. We have the highest velocity of stablecoins on Solana compared to any other blockchain. That means stablecoins are rotating more than anywhere else. One of the reasons is that we have a lot of shit to do on Solana, but also that the fees are so low, obviously. That makes people move money more than on expensive chains like Solana. If you want to dive deeper into this, then just Google latest Solana Misari report, because I think there's quite of a bull case in that paper. That is weird. Could have sworn the page was around here somewhere. I could have sworn too. The other bit that I don't have a page for, but that I saw in the internet as well, is that Goldman Sachs fully exits Sol and XRP ETFs. So that is a bare note. Goldman Sachs used to hold $100 million plus worth of Sol, together with $154 million worth of XRP. And on May 18th, so basically this week, it went from these numbers to 0. And what did they rotate the money into? Well. They rotated into hyper liquid ETFs instead. At least from what I saw. I need to find let me see if I find a URL for that again. Goldman Sachs and Hyperliquid. But that would be definitely a little bit of a kick in the ass for us here, because obviously selling Solana is one thing, but then rotating it into Hyperliquid is definitely a middle finger in the face. Bitcoin exposure remained much larger. Goldman continued to hold about 690 million worth of Bitcoin Trust, so that stays. Hyperliquid. The more notable addition was Hyperliquid Strategies, a Nasdaq-listed digital asset treasury company. Okay, that's how that works. Because I just thought, what is a Hyperliquid ETF? That makes no sense. What I had written in my notes. It happened through my God, my Mac is. It happened through a DAT, basically. So Hyperliquid DAT. So that's what they bought. Yeah, well, is what it is. Could be definitely better if the big ones would keep their Sol in these moments right now, because this certainly didn't help the chart. Let's take a look what happens on the chart. Last week we just pushed into the upper. Was it last week? No, actually last week we were already down here. So 2 weeks ago we tried to push higher, and we reached this kind of this resistance line, the red line here that I had on my chart, right in the FIB extension of the wave 3 in white. And then from there, last week, we kind of retraced right at this resistance line from the broader channel. And then this week, we broke through it. And basically, with this breaking through it, we're kind of destroying my plan here. So I have to say that my wave count starts to invalidate itself a little bit, because the pullback is bigger than expected. And this can happen, ladies and gents, because my wave counts and the elite waves that I'm tracking here are always based on probabilities, and probabilities are never certainties, right? So it means that there's always a counter case. So if I say that we are in the third wave and this might be a B wave and we might go into a C wave to the highs, then this needs to be further verified by volume and an upside reaction. The longer it takes for this to happen, and the more we were tracing to the downside, the lower the chances that this scenario actually is still valid. And now I actually think that the scenario is not so valid anymore. So I think I might have to remove the ABC here. I think this B wave here might extend, and we're right now in this B wave to the downside. I think this probably, what happened here, this looks to me like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, this 5 wave move here is not really feasible anymore, because we retraced far too much in the second wave here to be plausible. So yeah, don't shy away from from changing your assumptions. Opposite sometimes, or more than not actually, you have to admit that your initial plan wasn't right, which is fine. You just need to then cut your losses if you traded something and find a better entry, right? So yeah, that's why you need stop losses. That's why you need to, cap your exposure. Don't go all in with big margins, and don't follow my trading advice anyways, because I have no idea. This is no financial advice. But this makes more sense right now. I think the B wave here is more like an A, B, C. So we're in the C wave right now, I would say. A, B, C. And yeah, from here, at some point, we will go back to the upper channel. I'm pretty sure we will. But for now, we are deep in the pullback, honestly. And it might be over because the 5-wave advance to the downside is done, So I think we should see some recovery at some point here. The RSI is right now, it touched the oversold territory once more, as you can see down here, in this last push that we had today to the downside. But it also printed a higher RSI, even though the chart printed a lower low than before, which is technically a bullish divergence, right? So if you see such a setup here, where the chart trends down, but the RSI trends up, that is a bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart, together with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Elliott wave count right now. That is also kind of done, could be finished down here, right? We don't need to push lower in the 5th wave. We would at least now see an A, B, C correction to the upside. And that could even stretch to up here. But technically, we need to reverse right now. But then before making any trading decisions here, I would certainly also check other charts like Bitcoin and see what this chart is doing. And here we're also still in the channel. We haven't touched the lower boundary yet. So there's like a little bit of room here to find lower support. But yeah, nothing surprising, kind of boring. Charts are, not too exciting right now. It is going to the downside. And the only way you could have made a lot of money this week is by trading the inverse Weibo index, which basically means, Pierre, that the inverse Weibo index. So BM built this tool to track the challenge between Weibo and Juice from Hyperliquid. The challenge is that whoever makes the most money in a week, right, wins $1,000, I think. And Weibo is so bad that the inverse Weibo index basically trades everything opposite of what Weibo is doing. And it's like $5,000 in profit right now. So bullish. So you should basically, the solution is to counter copy trade Weibo. Reverse copy.
Weibo counter copy trades himself? So when he's doing a trade, next time he just does the opposite of what he wants to do.
But then you're brain fucked super quickly, because then you're like, wait a second. So now if I go long, now I want to go long, so I need to go short. But wait, if I go short now, maybe I should go long. Then you're stuck in like an endless, it's like, what am I even doing? But yeah, it's VIP versus Juice. It definitely didn't look too good last time I checked. And I think the challenge also is over tomorrow. So Weibo versus Juice. Oh, BM, did you take the side down? Oh yeah, no, you just changed the domain. Sorry. So right now we got $5,000 in loss and $4,000 in profit. So yeah, we were definitely struggling to keep up the party here. Day 5 already. So best P&L takes $1,000 from the other. So basically there's right now a gap of 10K. I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna make up his loss here. The gap is just too big. So let's see how this ends. But a bird told me that there will be more challenges like this in future.
What's the
so
bird?
It's gonna be fun. That bird is in our comment section as well right now. Anyway,
Bird might be BM.
That might be true. Now we talked about the macro. We talked about what's happening on the economy chart. Now what's happening on Solana, ladies and gentlemen? We talked about Messari Crypto already, so that was bullish. Collector Crypt, one of Solana's largest collectibles marketplace, celebrates $1 billion in lifetime volume following launch in 2023. So collectibles is funny enough. For me, it feels like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's there, but it's such a huge narrative right now. Collector Crypt is doing really well. Can you grasp that, Pierre? That there's like $1 billion of trading volume on a crypto collectibles marketplace where you basically just trade Pokemon cards?
Over what period of time?
Lifetime.
Just in total? Since they are live, or what?
Yeah. So it's like 2 years. A little more than 2 years, probably. $1 billion in lifetime. 18 months. 18 months, 1 billion in one.
That's really good.
Right. It's crazy to me, like for this stuff. But I guess, what's not crazy is that in the real world, it is as baffling to me as in the digital world, how excited people are and how much money they spend on these things. So yeah, I mean, shout out to CollectScript obviously for like cracking the code of this and just being extremely successful with in the collectibles realm. Good job. Monkey DAO has brought back the Monkey Hotel for Solana Breakpoint at London. 75 suites at the Marriott property in London, plus a revamped holder gated shop experience powered by Nomu stores. Okay, cool. Nomu's doing a holder gated shop experience in real life, I guess. So that's cool. Monkey DAO, Monkey Hotel, shout out. They always do that at the breakpoints. Phoenix Trade launched Vulkan, the official command line tool for Phoenix, built for traders and their agents. I've seen it. It looks pretty cool. Command line tool for Phoenix. So you can basically trade, or your agents can trade on Phoenix in your CLI. Why not? I think you can build some fun things around that. Drift Protocol Insurance Fund to open for withdrawals at protocol relaunch. Okay, so Drift is pushing forward. Protocol relaunch initiated. Insurance fund is going to open. People might get a little bit of money back, so that's good news. Meteora launches limit orders for traders powered by DLMM. Users get paid while waiting for their order to fill. So it's like limit orders on steroids. You're basically opening a limit order. Your money's already gone. It's in the pool. While you're waiting, you're already making fees. You're earning from the fees while you wait for the order to be filled. And once the order gets filled, it's a limit order. Obviously, the trade opens. Spot limit orders on Meteora Live with fee generation while you wait for the order to fill. Cool. Flipcash launches USDF on Solana, a new custom stablecoin built in partnership with Coinbase. Okay. That is new. Flipcash, create your own currency and use it as cash. We got XPlace app with credit mode, build wealth like the 1%, earn, spend, never sell, the financial as for crypto. That sounds cool. I'm still so annoyed that no one is doing it. I would do it if I could. Let's see if that's what I'm talking about. Our first of its kind product on Solana allows you to grow your wealth whilst funding your lifestyle. Yes, that goes in that direction. Deposit your crypto assets into XPlace, switch to credit mode, and unlock instant credit against your assets. Good. Spend at your favorite stores, restaurants, subscriptions, and more using your XPlace card. Earn cashback and XP, unlock lifestyle perks, including airport launches, fast track concierge. That's cool. How does this help build wealth? Your crypto stays invested, untouched, and working for you while you spend against it. So you can, you have 50K install, you keep it in there, you take 40K out in USDC that you can spend. As the price of your crypto assets increases, hopefully, your unsold portfolio continues growing in value. You can also earn up to 12% APY on your unsold assets. Yep, that's good. You're borrowing to spend, not selling, meaning zero tax. Price appreciation times yield, price. That's cool. Zero fees, all memberships. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. Shout out. I like it. Cool product. I was always thinking about this. Hobba, right? I talked about Hobba on the SEC. So you take out a loan. but your collateral that you put behind the loan makes so much yield that you're actually not paying for the loan, you're getting paid for the loan. Does that make sense? So you're getting paid for taking out a loan because the yield on your collateral is higher than the interest rate. So that's HOBA, right? So if you do that,
So you
with a
take
credit
money,
card,
but you get money, basically.
yes, it's actually really cool. Like you're obviously there's always like DeFi risk and shit, right? So that's something to keep in mind. But if you have $10,000 in HOBA and you're taking out you're taking out a loan against this, let's say 6K or something, depending on the LTV that you're getting, the loan to value. Then you have $6,000 in cash that you can now spend. And while you're spending the 6K, your collateral that you put in there is basically making money, right? It's paying off it's making a yield, right? So, and that, like a financial product around that, like a crypto card where you can basically spend your credit line while the money behind your credit line is making fees. You're basically getting paid for spending money. I think there's like cool shit that you can do with that. And I'm sure people are already doing this. And I think XPlace app, I actually haven't heard about them before. Sorry for that. But XPlace app seems to be trying to innovate on that front. You can now lend your money and spend it without selling it. Oh, Fabiano also talked about it. Deposit G2Sol, which has over 10% APY, 5% base, 5% lending APY. Borrow against it at 7% APR. So that's lower as well. And spend up to 50% LTV. So if you put 10K in, you can spend 5K. On top, you're farming XP and get benefits like lounges and travel discounts and all that shit. So yeah, they have different cards with different perks. You have a good chance to get your money back with the airdrop and cash back. Maybe it's time to try some new cards. It's fun. Like, we have so much choice right now in crypto when it comes to crypto cards. I don't want to be a crypto card right now. I'm happy that we're not, doing a card, because it's extremely difficult to win that race right now. I guess it's promising as well. It's a big market, right? But for us consumers, this is great because we can really shop around. There's no reason to stay too long with one provider. And I should probably also start using some other cards to kind of, just because I want to experience their products and play around with it. You don't have to, put like thousands of dollars on these cards if you don't trust it yet. But just for your daily expenses, you need to spend money anyways. Might as well do it with some of these cards where you might even get an airdrop. Why not? Anything else that's interesting here? Deal, Loop Scale, we got Earn, created wallets, Uniswap token Uni is now tradable across multiple major DEX on Solana. It's not even, it's like that's on the weekly digest. It's one of the last items. It doesn't get any love anymore. I think a year ago, this would have been like a huge thing. Like Uniswap token is not on Solana. Now it's like, they're all here. We're trading everything on Solana. Y Combinator has launched YC Crypto Deals, allowing startups to access grants, gas credits, and crypto infrastructure support from exclusive partners. Yeah, I'm not too excited about that one. Sounds more like a marketing gig than anything useful for founders. But shout out to Sensei for these little updates. And you also wanted to talk a little bit about his take on Solami, Pierre. What are we talking about?
Did you read the post? I guess so.
I did.
You didn't, or you did?
I did.
You did?
DID. Yes.
You DID. Yeah, no, I think it was interesting because I know Solana Sensei is posting a lot, and I know that Breach has been fucked in general for mostly anyone when it's not something that is super hyped. Because if you check Sensei's timeline, most of his posts are getting, maybe something on average around 10 to maybe 20K. Like even the weekly digest, right? It's only 7,400. and it's probably one of the posts that takes the most time for him to prepare during the week, I guess. Like most research stuff, you have to find all the announcements, then make a quick summary and stuff. So it takes a lot of time, but it only gets a bit of attention. And then I think compared to all of these posts, his basically brain dump and thoughts and his personal feelings about the current state of the Solana ecosystem performed quite well, which shows that there's a lot of common interest, I would say, in the ecosystem. So I thought it would be interesting to. Yes, exactly, for this topic. And also he got Toli in the comments. I think he got a lot of well-known Solana people in there that commented on it and basically either share his feelings and thoughts or are asking for specific ideas on how to improve and stuff. But the question is, do we need to fix this? Like, is what he's saying an issue, or is it just, as he also says, the way things work? You know, if something matures, it gets less, wouldn't say exciting, but more organized, no?
Yeah, less emotional as well. Well, it's such a human thing as well. I think we just can't. As soon as you're part of something that's too big for you to grasp as a human, it quickly starts to feel cold, and you're not in that inner circle anymore. You don't feel like you're belonging to something meaningful anymore because you're too small of a piece in the bigger pie. You know, like in the bigger puzzle. And that's very natural. That doesn't happen only on Solana, right? That happens from startups to corporations. You know, when a startup is like 10 people, it felt very different for these 10 people than when the startup is then maybe 200 people, right? They probably have the same feeling. They're like, oh, I miss the good old days, whatever, you know. Years ago, when you live in your rural village somewhere in the world, right, with your close community, everyone knows each other by name. Everyone knows, you know, everything about each other. And then your village grows because of some economic explosion, right? Maybe there's a gold mine that got discovered and you have 10,000 people coming into your city, and soon enough you don't know each other anymore. You know, there's a lot of strangers in your city. The feeling of belonging goes away. It's very natural, right? And this is the same thing happens to Solana. And Sensei is right. It is an effect of growing up. Now the question is, can we still maintain a factor of close-knit community in the belly of the beast, right? And yes, we can, right? We certainly can, especially because not everyone is on Twitter anyways. And that's where we assemble, right? That's where all of us are usually finding our communities and finding belonging. It's in some Telegram chats and some groups that we use, right? That's the technology we use to get close to each other in this day and age. And it's Twitter. And the masses won't be there, right? They'll be outside of these places. So I think we can create a nice community inside of our little bubble. And that inner chamber can persist from Solana being, you know, super small to Solana where it is right now to Solana where it is going to be in 5 years. It's still quite small, right? Everyone knows each other really in the space. If you're really in the inside, it is so small still. Like the inner space, but then there's obviously thousands of users for different protocols, and you know, maybe Jupiter has like millions of traders per year that trade there, but that's not, you know, those are not our friends. Like they amplify the ecosystem, they make us grow as an ecosystem. They are the users of our use cases, but when it comes to the inner circle, it stays small and cozy. I'm not too worried about it personally. He's saying maybe this is simply what happens when ecosystems mature. Maybe I'm just too washed now. I just generally miss when people themselves felt like the soul of Solana. Totally said, let's bring back pure DeFi. Yeah, sure. Laguna says, open to experiments on how we bring back that authentic human messiness if you want to chat about it. So what are these experiments? Actually, the next comment on Laguna's post is exactly what I was thinking. I think a lot of us miss hacker houses. That's where a lot of the camaraderie was formed and the glass chewing developer culture was created. Getting support for local Solana chapters would also be useful. Super Team USA focusing only on Miami is isolating for someone. That's true. But that's a USA problem, right? Like Super Team Balkan is a great example, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of it, but Super Team Balkan is also like USA, not only one country. Obviously, USA is just one country, but it's multiple states and it's focused on Miami. But Super Team Balkan is not just focused on Belgrade in Serbia, right? They are managed to, have a nice community that spans across borders and even brings together countries that are actually that have been fighting each other for decades, right? So Serbia and Croatia are infamously known for, being frenemies. But Super Team Balkan feels like a very good place. So, yeah, Sensei saying this is interesting to me because I also know that he has a very interesting view on super teams because he had like some bad experiences with super team itself. That's also why he doesn't belong to one. But I think he should actually. I think he would find some of this meaning and humanness that he's talking about inside of a super team. So yeah, if you were watching this right now and you have similar feelings and you want to belong, you want a community, first of all, welcome to the Solidians. Thanks for being here. We are a community. We're very close-knit because if you're one of the people that, gather here with us every Saturday, we hear you, we talk to you, we're there for you, we talk about Salami, we have similar interests, we share interests, and we kind of have trying to prove that we're not, here for the wrong reasons. So happy to help you with the community feeling by doing that, but also join a fucking super team, like find some friends over there. But it's not always easy, right? For example, Pierre in the Philippines doesn't have one. So that makes it a bit harder in these places. But then at the same time, if you would really want to, you could join like Singapore or Malaysia or whatever, and then at least had something around. I'm also in a city in Europe most of my time when I'm in Europe, where I don't have someone in that country really, right? My super team people are across the borders, right, as well. But at least if there's events there and I can manage to swing by, I have a lot of people that I know, and I'm in the group chats, and I have the contacts there. And as always, it's a two-way street. So for anyone out there who wonders, like, how do I do this? How do I even join a super team? How do I make friends there? And how do I, get anything out of it? Think the other way around. What can you give them, right? What can you provide for a super team? What can you do for them? Why are you a valuable member for them? What do they need help with? Maybe, a lot of our Nigerian friends are doing this quite well, I think, because Nigeria has like 30 different chapters, I think, inside of Nigeria, of different super team localities, and there's been so many Nigerians that just, well, like, okay, I'm going to lead this city, right? I'm going to make events here. I'm going to take care of, Solana in my little circle here. That's what I'm going to do for a super team. And that's how they forge their own community. There's always something you can do. So, yeah. Anything else about this Sensei tweet, Pierre, that you want to talk about?
Did you already say anything about the NFT topic?
No.
No?
Good topic as well.
Huh?
No, I mean, we haven't talked about it right now.
Okay. No, I think because that was basically one of did he say it in the tweet? I'm not sure, but I think either him or some other people said, yeah, exactly that NFTs might be the answer. And obviously, Solana Sensei is probably biased when it comes to NFTs since he has his own NFT collection. But he is also part of the Solana ecosystem since so many years. So he went through all the stages, and he was part of the like the how do you say
Well, he gave birth to some of the NFT craze, I would say, right? With his, especially with
yeah,
the
he was
first,
definitely part of the NFT hype phase on Solana.
yeah,
like,
totally.
multiple
Oh yeah,
times, you know?
deeply.
So of course, I think there was a special time. There's nothing, because compared to meme coins, I don't know, NFTs are still better. You know what I mean? And luckily there is not so many successful NFT collections, and not so many NFT collections are being dropped compared to meme coins. So there's definitely, I don't know, some more value in there. But at the end of the
It's
day,
funny
also
to me. It's kind of, sorry. It's funny to me that did you see that tweet from Word?
Yeah, I saw that. We must
Yeah,
bring
so
back NFTs.
that was like yesterday. And it's funny to me because of the reaction that this post gets, you know. It's quite a viral post, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know, but like
for sure.
500,000 views, lots of likes, you know, like more than 1,000 comments. Lots of people
For-
started to repost it.
Yeah. And it's
For, like,
just
short
one
tweets.
sentence. Just we must bring
Yeah.
back NFT.
Yeah, because and that's funny to me because what does it mean? It means that there's still so many people in our little bubble, at least, right? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the problem, that it's just in our little bubble. But in our little bubble, there's so many people that seem to be very passionate about it, about the topic, right? Because of the reaction to it. Like if no one would care about it, it would get like 100 likes and, you know, be disregarded. But we've been saying NFTs are dead since 3 years now, and yet one sentence, "We must bring back NFTs," goes viral instantly, right? So how dead are they? Like, it's just I don't know. It's just funny to me.
But it maybe
how much-
also just is a mirror of the desperation of the people.
yeah, it is, right? But then how are they dead then if so many people care about it? You know, I guess we have to define what dead means as well. It's just like there's no hype right now. There's no hype phase. But then at the same time, you do have, like, monkeys are extremely active since ever, right? Like they didn't go anywhere, I think. And like if you just look at like some of the PFPs, there's still like a lot of people that are having their, you know, OG NFT, you know, images that they just kept, you know, because it's part of their identity. NFTs are, you know, inherently an identity object, right? Like it tells something about the holder. Like you see a Boogle and you're like, okay, all right. Like, you know, it tells you something. You don't know who that is, maybe you don't know the person, but it's like looking at someone that wears specific clothes, right? Like you have a superficial opinion on the person immediately because of the NFT. It's an identity object. And I think that is, you know, good tech, right? It's just one bit of it. And he also says that he got into collector crypt recently, and it sparked something in me again. It feels very similar to the early NFT collecting vibes.
What
That's
is that? TCG?
The collector crypt, the collectibles that we just talked about earlier. The one with $1 billion trading volume. Cards and shit.
I got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So yeah. But also, yeah, Cyber says, bring back the good old days. That's such a meme itself, that sentence. We humans always do that. Because something in our brain, there's something I have to do research to and explain to you why the psychology works like this. But something in our brain makes us always want the good old days back. Right? It's an illusion, right? Just A, because they never come back, and B, you're going to say the same thing about right now in 5 years from now, right? So might as well live in the present, if that makes sense. It's just a funny thing we do as humans. We always how do you say in English? Schwelgen in Erinnerungen. We're always like
nostalgic.
Nostalgic, yeah, clinging to our memories. But But yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, moving on. What else do we want to talk about? We have Solana news. We took a look at the macro. We took a look at the charts. You yourself did some work, Pierre, this week as well, on the next campaign that we teased already when we closed the deal, and now we're getting closer to launching that campaign. What's new? What's new on the Solana ID campaign front? What have you been tinkering on?
First of all, did I already show the page last week, or did we not do that? I think we only talked about it, but we didn't actually show it.
I think we skipped it. Yeah, I think we didn't show it.
Yeah, then maybe let's just share what I was working on instead of just talking about it.
Sure, go ahead.
You see my my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we looking at here? This is basically the campaign landing page for the campaign with Solstice, which still needs some smaller remakes, but it's 95% done, I would say. The only things that I'm still working on right now is some tracking parts. But so what is this campaign about? Can I give the whole background about Solstice and SEC and everything?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can. That's what I was referring to earlier at the beginning of Solid Talk. Where does ecosystem call begin? Where does Solana ID begin? And where does it end? Yeah. So we can talk about it. How that works. It's part of the current Solana ID mode of operation, right? And that should be mentioned here, at least in the current form, right? It like what Pierre's explaining is an evolving topic right now. It is us as founders, finding product market fit. Really, that's what it is. But yeah, feel free to explain a little bit the background.
Yeah. So one of the things that we figured out through the last 2 years is basically that we as Solana ID have the biggest leverage when we have our own distribution. And so Sol Brothers and the Solana ecosystem call might not be directly Solana ID, but Simon is the Solana ID CEO and co-founder, and he's also the host or one of the hosts of the Solana ecosystem call. So of course there is some overlaps, and since the Solana ecosystem call is the most prestigious show on Solana that everyone is watching and everyone is looking forward to. And obviously it's streamed from the main Solana account, so it attracts a lot of eyeballs also from other protocols because they want to be featured in there, which is actually a nice fact because it just makes business development and deal flow easier for everyone, for Sol Brothers and also for Solana ID, since Simon is part of both teams. So when Solstice decided to be featured on the next Solana ecosystem call, Simon also talked to them and said, hey, do you guys also want to take it a little bit further? Not just being featured with some nice video campaigns on the SEC, but we can also add some more performance-oriented marketing campaign around that whole video stuff that that they're doing with Sol Brothers for Solstice. So we came up with this campaign for Solstice, which is really more focused on actual conversion instead of just getting attention and having a timeline takeover and whatever. So Solana ID is basically involved in this whole campaign setup, and what we are doing is we are building these kind of landing pages and including the Solana ID tech stack, especially the scoring. And we don't really use it to distribute a perk because that's also a thing that we figured out. Sometimes it's just too hard to identify perks that we can run with businesses. So yeah, in most cases, it's just easier if we do something simple like
Mm.
giving away some money for people that are doing any action that helps the protocol and also is easy to do for the users. So we came up with this campaign for Solstice where you basically just have to, that's why I say I still need to do some changes here on the wording. You don't have to lock 100 USX because there's actually different ways on depositing funds into Solstice. So one of them is their own stablecoin, which is USX, but they also accept other stablecoins. So the more accurate wording would be
Wording. USD.
lock or hold EUSX. I think it's
USD.
USX, which is basically the locked version of their stablecoin, which generates yield, right? So the campaign will be about that. You have to hold at least 100 EUSX over a period of 30 days. That's it. You just have to hold it. There's nothing else you need to do. So basically, you just go to Solstice, you deposit your funds, at least 100 EUSX, and then if you hold that for 30 days, you're in the raffle. And then the raffle works based on your solid score. So for everyone here who has a Solana ID, has connected multiple wallets, and has a very good score, that's great for you. That's basically your advantage over other people who do not have a Solana ID yet, because if they connect their wallet, the score will only be based on that one wallet, not on the aggregation of all their wallets that are part of the Solana ID account, right? So it's still a better perk for anyone who holds Solana ID, but it also makes it possible to distribute something to everyone and not just Solana ID holders, which makes it easier to convince companies like Solstice to work with us, because it just gives us more distribution opportunities, because now we don't need to send everyone to the Solana ID hub and make them sign up for Solana ID first. We can just send everyone here, no matter if they have a Solana ID yet or not. And that just helps us to get better conversion rates, more traffic, and in the end of the day, more TVL for Solstice, hopefully. So that's what the campaign is about. And if you participate and you really do the 30 days of holding 100 plus EUSX, and you have a very good solid score and you get a lot of raffle tickets, I think the maximum is 25 tickets, then you might be one of the lucky winners who gets $500. But the nice thing about this campaign is, no matter if you win or not, there's nothing you can lose, at least, right? So you always walk away as a winner, because not only do you get the standard yield rate that Solstice has to offer, which is the base one that you get for the EUSX, but you can also use their EUSX token in deep DeFi on Camino, Orca, Exponent, RateX, and wherever, which gives you the yield. And then what we also have is basically a Flares points boost. So Solstice also has a point system. And if you have a very good solid score, you get 1.25 boost on the Flares system. The base boost is 1.2. So everyone gets something. And if you have a very good solid score, you even get more, and you get better chances on winning the $500. So I think this mode is actually pretty nice, because we are able to give something to everyone, but we can also make sure that the Solana ID OGs, the ones with the high scores, the ones that have a Solana ID account that aggregated a lot of wallets, that they get better chances and just better perks in the end of the day.
So they just get more raffle tickets, right? That's how it works.
Exactly.
So
yeah, and in this case, also a better boost.
Right.
Yeah.
So in simple words, if you're in tier 2, tier 3, tier 1, anything that's better than 4, you get more than one raffle ticket. This way, it's increased chances to win. Yep. And then our job is basically just to bring as much traffic as possible to the landing page, so that people learn about Solstice and start engaging with their product. That is the service that Solana is offering and is being paid for, right? To build a conversion optimized acquisition campaign, really, right? Around anything we do. This can be a standalone thing, right? We've done this before. But in conjunction with the ecosystem called our organic content package, this becomes even more interesting for companies, because I think they are just, they're getting several services in one package, which is quite cool. And a lot of times as well, if you do these one-shot campaigns on Twitter, where you put a lot of effort and money into creating an expensive asset or multiple expensive assets to post, but you never thought about, okay, how do I actually get what happens after people see that stuff? Like, how do I get more out of this campaign? Like, if I spend $10,000 on organic post and its amplification, shouldn't you, as a marketer or a growth person in a company, shouldn't you also think about, okay, how do I translate this attention, the impressions, and the views now into KPIs that are pushing our protocol forward? And that's where Solana comes in, right? Because we plug in exactly there and trying to take that attention and translate it into users on your protocol.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Cool. So yeah, we're gonna launch this most likely next week, and then this will be also fully functional and for everyone to participate, also including everyone in here.
Yeah, that's basically done. Everything is working. The only thing that I am tinkering on right now, because it is actually, I only noticed it on Friday, which was yesterday, and I was thinking, wait, if we use the standard conversion tracking, then we will have a problem, because you can use EUSX and deep DeFi, right? So you get the EUSX in your wallet. I can track that. It's the same wallet that connects to our landing page, so I can know, okay, this person logged EUSX, check mark. So I can check that every day to see if they are also holding every day. No issue. But then if you start using deep DeFi, so you deposit that somewhere else, which means you give custody, for example, to Camino, or whoever, it's not in your wallet anymore, right? So I would have to write a custom tracking setup for all their partners, one for RateX, one for Exponent, one for Camino, one for Orca, to see if those funds are going anywhere else. That is actually very tricky, and I'm not sure how we can solve this easily long term. But in this case, I figured out that since Solstice is already using their own Flares system and points boost, which also works with deep DeFi, means they have some internal connections already, probably to all of their deep DeFi partners, to still be able to track all the funds and give everyone flares, even though they don't have the EUSX in their wallet anymore. So I was asking the team if they have some sort of API that I can use to set up that tracking, which would allow us to not only track the EUSX that is sitting directly in your wallet over the whole period of 30 days, but also all the funds that are deposited in deep DeFi on other protocols, so that we can basically track everyone. Otherwise, if that would not work, which would be not the best, but then I think that's just how it is for now, then we have to make it clear for everyone that in this specific campaign, you need to really hold the EUSX in your wallet for 30 days. You cannot use it for deep DeFi during that time. You can use...
Yeah, that might be the case, yeah.
More EUSX, but at minimum, you need to hold these 100 in your wallet. That would be the worst case, right? But so I think there might be a way for us to figure it out.
All right, we keep tinkering. What we also need to tinker, Pierre, is the NFT. I just recognized we started to yap over the hour, and some people might be already getting nervous. Shall we do the Solid Talk NFT?
I got you.
Distribution. Wow.
I got you.
Wow. The NFT of the day, ladies and gents. We are on the 23rd of May. It is Solid Talk number 9090. And today we got a special NFT for you. It is your participation NFT that proves that you are with us today. And you can get it very easily inside of your wallet. And we're going to talk, or we're going to tell you in a moment exactly how to do that. What is the Solidin doing here? Time traveling? I don't even know what he's doing. But you need to also create a name while you create the images, by the way. So we have a...
Why, or what do you mean?
No, you have to, because it's fun. So we understand the artist's
I'm
intention.
not the one who is designing them. I literally use the same prompt every week, which is basically giving the AI the freedom to do whatever he wants within in a sandbox, right? He knows what he can do and what he cannot do, but I'm not telling him, look, design something that looks like this or use whatever elements.
I know. But he knows, like, he's the artist, right? So he must have some sort of idea about what he wants to call this. Just ask him.
It doesn't really work in this case.
Okay.
Because I'm using
someone,
and I'm using
someone else that uses him. You need a master artist who just has the tools.
Not an aggregator. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just something.
No.
I know what you mean. Anyway, how do we get our hands on this? Let's tell
how do we get our hands on this? I mean,
how
it is already live. It is already there. So
I see. Okay. Talk.Zara.id. You know the deal.
Let me show you that here.
Know the deal. Do we got a secret code already?
Yes, it is NFTs, all capital letters. And if you want that NFT, all you have to do is go to talk.solana.id or scan the QR code on the screen, or go to Zeely, search for Solana ID, join our quest bot, and then go to the quest that is called Solid Talk #90 proof of attendance. There you will be asked to insert a Solana wallet address and a secret code, which is NFTs for today. That's it.
Nice. Worked for me. Worked perfect for me. We're doing NFTs. I totally forgot about that. We're part of the NFT movement and keeping NFTs alive by giving out an NFT every single week. There's actually a utility NFT. I mean, doesn't really have a utility, but it's a collectible. The utility is that the main utility is that you are proving that you've been in a live stream on the 23rd of May. And only by owning that NFT, you can really prove it.
I mean, if someone really has all of them, and there I know there's a few people, and for example, just I'm just dropping ideas. I'm not saying anything, so don't nail me on this ever. But let's just imagine this, right? Solana ID in 5 years, we are printing like crazy, making so much money, and then we are sitting there one day, super bored. Like, what can we do with all that money? We bought everything that we want. What can we do with all that money?
Day. Yeah.
What are we going to do with that money? Hey, wait, there are those crazy people. They literally joined our Solid Talk for almost 2 hours every single week for the last 6 years. They never missed anything because
they would be crazy.
It's verified on chain that you have been here every single week, right?
If we actually have people
you have been here.
like that.
I can see it on chain. Maybe I'm just going to send you $1 million. I'm just saying maybe, so don't nail me down on this, but if we are printing crazy and I want to do something good, give back to the people that were here all the time with us, you never know. You never know.
That is definitely feasible. I think we should do that. Yeah, I think we should do that. That should be something we should keep in the back of our heads. So first we gotta print, and then we gotta get back to that topic. So let's just make sure that we're winning together here, and then you make sure that you collect your NFTs from attending all these calls, and maybe we can have a ranking. Like where. if there's one person, like one crazy JD Sol Cyberbrother person that has like all the NFTs, okay, cool, they get the big win, right? But then maybe we can have like 2-3 runner-ups of people that have like 90% of the NFTs, because over years this is still crazy. Like if you have like 200 of these NFTs, multiply the hours you spent with us on these live streams, like, you know, it's like we're gonna want to make these hours worth your time. So fair, yeah. And yeah, JD, I actually see you now, like always, right? I have to scroll up and then actually JD and Altessa, you are actually sharing now this phenomenon with me. Altessa also just spawns in my comments on StreamYard like sometime into the call on the very top. So yeah, I can see your comments now. And NFTs aren't dead; they are merely transforming to RWA utility keys. RWA utility keys.
Talking about the NFT stuff again, I don't know if I can find it for you quickly. Let me try. But I remember in this whole let's bring back NFTs and whatever, there was one person, maybe it was even someone from the foundation. I forgot the name. It was something with M.
What was about? I can maybe help you.
It was basically someone saying that there is lots of potential with NFTs still, especially soulbound NFTs. I found that very interesting. Who was it?
I kind of yeah.
What?
I kind of forgot about that already. That hours are. There's one idea NFT at least, right?
Ah, yeah, here, Cat McGee, DevRel, Solana Foundation, X, Aztec Network, and Aave Protocol. Aave, I don't know. Bringing privacy to Solana. I have no idea who that is. Never seen her. But she basically quote retweeted Mertz. We must bring back NFTs. Post and says, I don't think NFTs are finished, especially soulbound, so much potential. So that's it. Not sure.
Maybe we should ask her.
Exactly she's talking about, but Solana ID is a soulbound NFT.
It is actually, yeah. Totally forgot about that. Which means that your ID belongs to you only, and you know it kind of makes sense as well. Like obviously, that's why we did it, because you shouldn't be able to transfer your identity to anyone else, right? It's your wallet identity. So for that, for our use case, Solana NFTs makes a lot of sense. And you can easily query them on chain as well, right? Like if people want to know, okay, who's Solana ID holder, you can just use the on-chain data that's available. So Janus missed only 84. Oh shit, really? Oh damn, bro. That kind of hurts. We can't really do anything about it, bro. It's a proof of attendance. I'd love to just send it to you, but that would break the rules.
Maybe if I'm bored, I'm gonna vibe code a little leaderboard landing page where you can see who's holding most Solid Talk NFTs.
That would be fun, yeah. That'd be fun. I think missing only 84 is still fucking insane. So Janus, shout out. Like you're good, buddy. Don't worry about that one. There's like still almost.
Did I sound like someone from the Tate brothers? I don't know. What did I say? Did I say anything against women or
no?
Did I make any compliments for Hitler? I cannot recall. What did I do?
No, it's the money bit. When we're swimming in money, I think that was the bit.
Ah, okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So no anti-feminist. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up. I think we went through the agenda. We're kind of in the outro right now. We're just vibing and talking shit with people in the comments, which is also a great way to spend your evening. But either way, yeah, I don't have anything to add really. Next week, big week, so stay around, get some rest if you have to on your Sunday, and then get ready for the big week. We have yeah, some campaigns going live. We have the ecosystem call airing on Thursday, so you definitely want to mark your calendars, and you find the Luma on the Sol Brothers Pod page as well. Once Solstice launches, then just storm the campaign page. Please take part in it. It's for you guys, and I think it's good. It's a good perk still. Someone's going to win some money, so it's always nice. And as Pierre said, you're not going to lose anything because it's actually a stable coin. You're not risking anything. So I think we'll see you on the timeline. We'll see you during the week in the trenches, and then next week we're going to see you again for Solar Talk number 91 already. Damn, on the road to 100. So soon Solar Talk 100. Until then, ladies and gents, peace out, everyone. You have a good day. Enjoy Saturday, the end of your day or the beginning of your day, and we'll see you next week. Stay solid, get solid. Peace out, everyone. Bye.